enlightened entrepreneurs, coaches, and influencers together to discuss cutting-edge topics for the world of relationships, culture, business, and spirituality. Here's your host, Max Antonetta Jones.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Carol's Courage to Confidence segment of the Intuitive Entrepreneur Show. Now, we say courage to confidence because I say if you have a little bit of courage, and I know you do, every one of you out there do, and you hire a good coach like me, we're going to very quickly get you from where you are to where you want to be. Now, you know, I'm your weather girl if you turn it on, and it is a freaking gorgeous hot day here in sunny South Florida. We're going to hear from our guest what the weather's like where she is. But when you get in the chat and talk to us, or even if you're on hashtag replay, make sure and tell me where you are in the world and what the weather's like. Fair enough? Awesome, awesome. Now, one of the things our guest doesn't know, she's going to introduce herself in just a minute, is that I'm known as the Queen of Reframe. And it's going to be very interesting in our conversation today, so stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. Leanne, tell us where you're from and what the weather's like first.
Hello. So I am in the UK. I'm in Liverpool, and the weather, it's currently nighttime.
Oh, okay.
But it was actually quite a glorious day today. It's quite sunny, which is nice. We are entering spring, so it's very sunny where we are, apart from, you know, it being dark now.
Oh, fantastic. And this is your first time on the show, is that correct?
It is, yeah. I'm very excited to be here.
Oh, fantastic. So in a short summation, tell people what you're up to in the world.
So I am a trance channel, and I teach people a very advanced form of manifestation. I channel a collective consciousness that call themselves the Galila Collective, and we basically teach people how to consciously recode the reality that they are experiencing.
I'm lost. So
it's very woo.
Summer before last, I was asked to speak in front of 1,100 coaches on a Zoom, right? So I was speaking, and she brought this gentleman like up on the Zoom stage or whatever, and she asked him a question. He said something. She asked me the same question. I said something, and she starts laughing. She goes, "Yep, Marco, he's woo-woo. Carol, she's pragmatic. She's pragmatic." So in all transparency, I really don't understand exactly what you do. Is there a way that you can dumb it down for someone like me so that I kind of understand what you do? And then also tell us what's the result of what you do more clearly.
Absolutely. So basically, I am an energy worker, basically.
Okay.
And I kind of allow certain frequencies and energies to move through my body so that the highest wisdom can come through rather than just the piece of me that's human. That's kind of the basics of what I do as a trance channel. So have you heard of the higher self? I'm assuming you've heard of stuff like that before, higher self kind of. So you can kind of think of this as working with the higher self at a whole other level, and kind of just streaming through that kind of wisdom rather than the human level of wisdom. And you heard law of attraction, you're familiar with all that kind of stuff?
Yes.
Amazing. So we kind of work with that at like the next level and the next level again, which is kind of really getting to the core of energy work in and of itself. So we don't just work with the law of attraction. Law of attraction is a tiny, tiny part of what we do. We teach you how you are basically manifesting every single thing in your life. We teach you about why certain things happen to us and how we can reframe it. I love that you're the Queen of Reframe. That's amazing. And how you can reframe the negative things to feel more empowered about it and to change the direction of your life in a way that's very meaningful and can help you to access levels of magic that you wouldn't be able to access if you didn't have this knowledge.
Looky there, we do have things in common because we both create magic, right?
Yeah.
And we both reframe. Now, when you said you were energy worker, that helped me. I do another Facebook live show on my page every Monday at 12 noon. And one of the ladies that shows up consistently is Lightworker Christina.
Ah, amazing.
So I've had conversations with her and with Aaron. So that helps me a little bit. But the Galila Society and all that kind of lost me. So from a reframe perspective, I work in empowering questions.
Ooh.
And most people, vast majority of all people, we have our second guest here. Well, bring on Brooke. Better late than never.
Hi, Brooke.
Hello there. Sorry, I just got the link. So
All right,
sorry
well,
about that.
We've already jumped into the conversation. So real quickly, just, and then we'll come back to you. Tell us where you're chiming in from, what the weather's like.
I am in Tampa, Florida, and it is a beautiful mid-80s here today.
Fantastic. So you're right across the state from me. I'm in Boca Raton. So
Very nice.
awesome. So I'll bring you up to speed. We're talking about what the two of us do. Then you're going to get to tell us what you do as well in the world, and we're going to tie it all in. But I'm known as the Queen of Reframe because I teach and train on how to craft empowering questions. You can bring me any challenge, and I can very quickly reframe it, give you a new perspective, and then give you not only the action steps, but the empowering questions you get to ask to get a different result. So I was just telling her I was speaking in front of 1,100 coaches summer before last. And one of the things that blew my mind is that they, at least nobody admitted, that they understood that an empowering question never, ever, ever starts with the word why. I want you to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. So an empowering question, when you ask it with why, you bring up defensiveness, which brings in the ego, which brings in emotions. And when emotions go up, what happens? Intelligence goes down.
Mm-hmm.
It's true for every human being. And oftentimes people say to me, oh, Carol, you're right, man. When I get angry, I say things I regret, right? And I said, well, it's not just when you're angry. Think about the lady who goes out to Las Vegas to have a fun weekend. She wakes up the next morning with some dude in her bed and a ring on her finger, and she has no idea, right? But she was having a good time. But once again, her emotions were out of control. So we're not going to teach and train on empowering questions today, but the fact that you reframe in energy and I reframe in a more practical, pragmatic way, that's where I wanted to take that piece of the conversation. We're going to come back to you. So Brooke, you're on the polar opposite end, right? You're all about business systems. Tell us what you're doing in the world.
Business systems. I'm helping business owners make sure that they have a strong foundation so that they can do more of what they love. So they can become an absentee owner and be able to have a valuable company.
So are you talking, when you say systems, just like email automation, or a lot more in depth? What are you talking about?
A lot more in depth. So systems is just the software and the tools that we use to make things happen. Processes are the things that we put in place to make it ours, right? So, and processes include your team, systems include your team, or if you don't have a team yet, it gives you the ability to have a team and learn to reset yourself and be able to delegate now or in the future.
Fantastic. And how long have you been doing that?
10 years. We were just doing the math the other day.
Okay. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So I'm in the middle of you two. You're on one polar opposite end, right? She's on the other. Wait, let me ask you real quick. Have y'all ever heard of Joel Osteen?
Yes.
No.
He's here Leanne is in the UK. So Joel Osteen is in the United States, and he has this huge worldwide ministry. Have you heard of Joyce Myers?
Yes.
Rings a bell.
Okay. She also is from the US, right? Big worldwide ministry. And I remember 5 years ago, a prospective client coming in my offices and asking me, how I worked with people or whatever. And I said, Joel Osteen, I think he's a coddler. He kind of coddles people. I said, and then there's Joyce Myers, and she's in your face. Suck it up, buttercup. This is how I said, I'm right in between. Funny enough, I'm right in between the two of you. So Leanne works in energy, right?
Right.
And what's that thing about the Galila Collective Society? Tell us about that.
So, this is very woo.
Very woo. Is it going to go over my head again?
Oh, I hope not. I would hope not. Are you familiar with Abraham Hicks?
I am.
So it is the same thing. So I'm a trance channel. There is a collective consciousness that steps into me energetically and speaks through me, in the same way that Abraham speaks through Esther. But for me, it's a little bit more, they really get a grip of my body. And that's more about me making sure that it's not me getting in the way, and it's definitely them speaking. So you can think of me as a mini and far less advanced Abraham Hicks. The best way to understand it.
And how long have you been doing this?
So I kind of spontaneously started to channel years and years ago now. It was about 6 or 7 years ago, but I didn't actually start to trance channel, so the fully embodied version, until about 18 months ago it was that it fully came online. So it's really quite new for me. It's been a very exciting ride, and my life has completely changed since this stuff popped in, like completely radically different to what it was before I could trance channel. It's been amazing.
Your life itself or the life that you deal with your clients?
Both. So before the trance channeling came in, I was a mental health nurse, very grounded, therapeutic practitioner, very evidence-based and science logic minded, all of that stuff, very grounded, and still had a huge interest in the spiritual woo side of things. But when this gift kind of came online, or more when my confidence to use it really started to move through, the level of work that I could do with people just completely opened up whole new avenues of ways that I could work with people at a completely new level of healing.
Awesome. So Brooke, I like the fact that you're pragmatic. I'm learning about the other. Your ideal client, when you say, even if you don't have a team, so I've heard 8-figure coaches, right, say, build your team before you build your business.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, a lot of my entrepreneur clients really and truly don't have the financial wherewithal to build a team before they build a business. So how do you handle that with your clients?
Sure. So when we're working in systems and processes, it's about the goal to grow and scale. And so as we're going through that process, we have to think about the team members we want to have on the team as if we were going to be an absentee owner. And then as we go through that entire process, we build the job descriptions. We do all of the tasks based on role-based emails so that when they say, okay, I'm ready to get an assistant, I have the money to get an assistant, here's what we're doing. They already have the job description, and all they have to do is reassign all of the tasks that are assigned to the admin role email, right? So all of the calendar, all of the tasks, all of the how-tos, everything is already thought about and done because they're doing it every day and they have a solid process to go through. Now all they have to do is pick it up and transfer that to the new person. Now they've saved themselves time because they already planned it. And for those people who have a hard time with turnover, either because they're not very skilled at management or because of whatever, then this is transferable. So all the training comes along with the tasks and with the job description. So if you need to train somebody new, you don't have to take 3 weeks out of your life and make that happen. You just have to be the leader.
So most of your clients, do they sell products and services? I mean, excuse me, products, or are they coaches? What's your ideal?
Most are services. So, I work with a lot of coaches. I do have some product clients. I have clients across the spectrum because business is business, right? We all have to have a solid foundation. We all have to have marketing and sales and operations and finance. Like everybody has to have those. So the foundations of every business are the same. How we do it and the unique piece of what we do is what makes us all different. So, as far as coaching goes, the coach is always going to have to be the coach. But what if you didn't have to set the appointments? What if you didn't have to sell for yourself? What if all you had to do was show up and be the coach and do those pieces that only took your brain, right? That's the stuff, like that's what, for coaches, that's what an absentee owner is. Now, if you have a grander vision, think Tony Robbins, John Maxwell, they're not coaching anymore unless you hand them $100,000 or more, right? So, but what they've put together, and this was their plan, was a coach the coach program. How are you going to teach somebody to be a coach using your name, right? Grander scale. So once you have the system in place that you've been able to make successful for you, now you can literally package it and it becomes a license or a franchise or something like that. But you can't do that and have somebody else come in and be you without having a process that can be handed over and delegated.
Makes total sense. So Leanne, who is your ideal client?
So my ideal client is somebody that has been dabbling in the spiritual world for quite some time, but wants to move towards actionable goals in 3D reality. They don't just want magic to be this intangible thing anymore. They want to actively begin to change their life in a very tangible, grounded, practical way, but utilizing much of their spiritual tools. Brooke, I need to speak with you, lady. I'm glad that we've been put in touch.
She's
got
like
lots
the
of
walking,
clients that
talking
would be-
e-myth of business book, right?
Exactly.
For sure.
The walking, talking.
Yeah.
Someone handed me that book after I'd been trying to run my own business for a while. This is a while back. They handed me the book. When I first started reading it, Brooke, I was so mad I put it down. I wouldn't read it. I'm like, where the hell were you 5 years ago? Like, really? Like, this is what I was saying back then. I'm like, I'm a freaking great technician, right? Great keynote speaker, great coach, business owner, processes. I loved corporate America. Can I tell you? And I realized I was in a leadership program this past year, very intensive for 4 months, is that one of the reasons I loved corporate America, one of the challenges I've had that I'm overcoming is in corporate America. By the way, I had 26 years successful sales for Fortune 100 companies. Mm-hmm. So I could walk in, the structure was there. I was a weird salesperson. I love structure and I'm a rule follower. Not true for most salespeople, especially in corporate. Mm-hmm. But what I learned for the first time, and I'm 63 years old, I learned this last year. What I loved about it is somebody told me what to do. Right. Here's your product. If I believed in it, I could sell it. Obviously, I sold over $70 million in revenue during that time. But me having to create all the rules, like you said, and all the processes, that's been a huge challenge. So I would like both of you to tell me how you address those mindset challenges with your clients. Let's start with you, Leanne, on that one. And then Brooke, I want you to answer the same question because I think we can all benefit from getting different viewpoints.
Absolutely. So we talk about divine masculine and divine feminine energy, and we also talk about combating that inner victim, that inner part of you that believes that you're not capable, that believes that you can't go and do all of these things, and also the part of you that is hyper reliant on the self and refuses to go and access help from other people. So we basically help people to cultivate a balance between learning to trust yourself enough to know what you can do, and then learning to access support around the pieces that you can't. And Brooke would be a beautiful element of where you can access that support from other people and then have your zone of genius where you just get to show up and do all the gorgeous things that really serve and fuel you.
And Brooke, how do you get your clients over that hump, if you will, of that mindset, right? I mean, yes. Wait. Did I just describe most entrepreneurs?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Thank you. Now I want you to say, Carol, just say Yana. Say Yana for me.
Say Yana for me, Carol.
Yana means you are not alone, right?
Oh.
You are not alone. Now, I actually had a client give me a testimonial video, and she's like, Brooke babysits me. You know, like that's my tagline for CEO management. You know, and really that's what we do because we work in implementation. I work with a lot of coaches and consultants that send me their clients, right? So once they have the vision and they know what they want to do, then I get them and I have to make it happen. So how we do it, we handhold. We have accountability structures. I actually have a client that I'm going to be calling today saying, you're not doing it on your own. I'm only 7 hours away from you. Why don't you come down for a couple of days and we'll do some intensive work so that it gets you out of your space and you can actually dig in and do what you're doing, right? Or do what you need to do. And I've done that. I've had people fly in from different places in the country just to come and have an intense day of copywriting, building your website, doing the stuff that you need to do. I have a gentleman that I talked to yesterday morning. I'm going to his office next week, and I'm literally going to sit there and dictate or, like take down all of his processes and then organize them, put them, because he's about ready to sell his business, or he's getting ready to sell his business. And right now it can't run without him. So his business is worth nothing. if he's not doing it.
Makes total sense. And that was in the E-Myth book too, right? About having an exit strategy. Like,
Yes.
that never crossed my mind. Wait, I'm building a business to have an exit strategy.
Yep.
So yeah, I probably get to read that book again, right?
That's the mindset of it all. So people that read E-Myth or the 4-Hour Work Week, that helps you with the mindset of realization of where you're at and how far you have to go to get to entrepreneur status. I would guess that 90% of entrepreneurs are actually business owners that created themselves a job because they didn't want to work for somebody else.
Oh, that
right?
wasn't my case. Yeah.
So, or they, like, for instance, the baker at the local bakery loves what they do, really great at it. And everybody says, you should do this on your own. You should have your own business. They cash out their 401k. They take all of their savings. They put it into a bakery, and the cakes are fantastic. But there's no money because there's no sales. There's no bookkeeping. There's no help. There's no life.
Yep.
Right. And then we go years without taking vacation. We get burnout, and all of our savings is tied up into something where we could have just gone to work and done the exact same thing for our friends and family.
Yep.
So, those are the pieces, right? And implementation, the mindset in this case is easy because everybody wants it. The implementation is the hard part. And that's where, this gentleman that I was just talking about, he's working with a coach. His coach called me and says he needs you. So I'm going to go over there to babysit him. He's going to do the work. I'm just going to be his secretary and dictate and, take down all the notes and organize them because he can't do it on his own.
And so it's I'm sorry, go ahead, Leanne.
Sorry, Carol. I was just going to say, I think honestly, like speaking as, somebody who is new to business and you're juggling all of the plates, having somebody just step in and go, this is the piece that is going to really help. Just focus on this piece. Just feels like that part of you that just goes, oh, okay, I can breathe a sigh of relief. I'm not just throwing stuff at the wall. There's somebody here that's actually going to help, with a step-by-step process. And I can definitely say that that's something I need in my business. So,
well, we will talk.
Yes.
I think also for me, it was making the decision that I'm a business owner, because I was also known as the reluctant entrepreneur, right?
Yes.
We don't have time for that story, but anyway, I lost my job and I spent my entire 401k looking for another job. I was flown all over this country over and over and over. After 26 successful years, I sold $70 million. I'm like, I can't close a deal to get a job. Are you kidding me? So, the long and short of that is faith is my foundation. And so I was basically yelling at God one day. I'll be honest. I'm like, look, you created me. I'm not cut out to be an entrepreneur. You got to help me find a good job. I mean, my 401k was gone. I did this for so long. And 2 weeks to the day from that prayer, Leanne, I will appreciate this. 2 weeks to the day from that prayer, out of the blue, I get an email from a woman that I met one time out of town at a conference. She and I must have chatted maybe 30 minutes. She gifts me a $3,500 ticket in this email to go to Los Angeles to go to Guerrilla Business School, which was a foundational school for entrepreneurs. So I tell people, yeah, my God has a sense of humor. Like he's closing every other door. And before you got on, Brooke, we were talking about me being known as the Queen of Reframe. If you find me on a lot of podcasts and stuff, it's typically titled Table Talk with the Queen of Reframe. Mm-hmm. But it was at that place in Los Angeles that I first learned about truly how to craft empowering questions. And I was determined to master them. Been working to master them for 8 years. But the other thing I'm going to throw out there real quick, and Brooke, just so you know, I'm keeping my eye on the time. In a couple of minutes, we're going to have you to tell everybody about how they can work with you and all that good stuff.
Sure.
So the other thing I learned is going to be the title of my next book. And it's called You Can't Read the Label When You're Inside a Jar. And we're all in a jar. Mm-hmm. Right? I was in my jar. All I could see is that I was this buttoned up corporate sales professional. Nobody in my family's ever owned their own business. My dad's going to be 92 in May. 92. Now I left AT&T at the end of 1999. Let's think about this. My dad still says to me, Carol, don't you wish you'd stayed at AT&T? Dad, Yeah, it was almost 25 years ago. No, right? But that was how I was raised up, right? You go to work for a corporation, you keep your, nose clean, work hard, and they take care of you. And of course, he did that. He had a great pension, which you don't find anymore. And they gave him the gold watch and all of that kind of stuff. So it's all relatively new. But I think for me, and it's one of the things I help my clients with, and I hear both of y'all saying this in different ways, you get to make the decision, and then you make the decision right. Right.
Yes.
But until you own the decision, we're out there like a fish flopping right on the sand. Right. So it's really about making, that decision.
Yeah. Clarity in what you want to do and how you want to do it. And then making sure that clarity can make you money.
Yes. That's an important piece.
It is. Like there is money everywhere, but you have to be super clear on so that people can make a decision to say yes to you. And, what I find, especially in the intuitive world, in the woo world, is that the clarity is not there. Because they want to do so many things and they want to help with so many things. But if you can't hone in on the one thing that you truly are good at, make money on that first, and then you can add sidelines.
Yeah, I agree with that completely.
Interesting, because when I first started out, I called myself a leadership coach. I'm all about personal leadership. I think it's paramount. Mm-hmm. And back in 2018 and 19, my clients started introducing, you got to meet Carol, my amazing business coach. I kept saying, I'm not a business coach, but many of them were doubling and tripling the income in their business, right? Mm-hmm. So I adopted the moniker business leadership coach, right? But I would never say out loud, talk about mindset work, right? I would never say out loud that any of my clients had doubled or tripled their income. So I hired a new coach, right, to work on my own mindset, because I'm in my jar. And I found out that I had this old file running that if I said it out loud, then every one of my clients had to do it. Mm. And she's like, no, they're not all going to do the work that you give them. You're still showing up 150% every time for them. Mm-hmm. And you have, what do they call them? White paper. You have cases. People have done it. You've done it. Yeah. So, but it's not the biggest driver for me with my clients. And I think that's given me a challenge and the clarity to say, this is, one thing that I'm really, really, really good at. Yeah. But this has been such a fun conversation. I've got my eye on the clock. We only have a couple of minutes. Leanne, you're going to go first. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do in the world. Tell everybody how they can work with you and where they can contact you. And Aruba's going to put it on the bottom of the screen as well.
Yeah, so we live over on Instagram, or you can catch our website, which is obviously here. You can work with us one-to-one. We can go full-blown woo, or we can do very practical things, or we can just do one-off healing sessions. You can find out loads more on our website, and we have got a podcast that is about to launch, which is called the Multidimensional Manifestation Podcast. So keep your eyes out for that as well. It's going to be a juicy one.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And Brooke.
Yes, so you can pretty much find me anywhere you want to find me. MyCloneSolution.com is my website. If you Google my name, Brook Borup, you will hear me or see me on a lot of podcasts. So I've got a lot of great information out there, and I'm always looking to help. So fantastic. You can book a call. It's called an Ask Anything call, and that's exactly what it is. You come on, ask anything. We can work on your one challenge that you have right now, so you have the room in your life to work on the others.
Oh, that's a great idea. And it sounds like Leanne might be giving you a call.
Yep.
You never know. In a few months, I might be giving you a call too.
That's what I'm here for.
The universe brought us together.
Exactly.
We'll have group coaching from the Intuitive Entrepreneur Show.
And Leanne, I'm an early bird, so I'll get you in your morning.
Amazing. Thank you.
Oh, I'm an early bird too. That's a whole other topic. Listen, ladies, it has been an absolute blast. Thank you. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for being a blessing. All right, everybody, if you're watching this on #replay, make sure and reach out to any of us. We all do different things. We're all very good at what we do. And who knows, you might could use all three of us and get the best results ever. This has been the Intuitive Entrepreneur Show, and it's been the Courage to Confidence segment. Remember what we tell you. Confidence is not a feeling. We don't make business decisions based on feeling. What's our confidence? Confidence is taking action. Got to get into action, right? We're here to help you do that. Come back next Wednesday. We're here every Wednesday at this time. Look forward to seeing you. And once again, until then, everybody, be blessed.
The Intuitive Entrepreneur Show is hosted by Max and Janetta Jones and is brought to you by Life Coaching Today magazine, empowering your health, business, community, and life. This has been a production of True Awesome Life Productions, who asked, what does your true awesome life look like? Start that journey today at trueawesomelife.com. For more information on this or past episodes,